Hello everyone, my name is Gunnar Dørheim. Today I'm going to talk about how we do virtual ICE sessions in industrial scale projects. I'm a VDC consultant at Veni in Norway. We do VDC, sustainability, energy and IT infrastructure consultancy. I just did my VDC certificate this spring. And I have a background as an HVAC engineer and a BIM specialist, where I had the opportunity to work with both non-VDC project and VDC project and really see how VDC enhances the projects, both with integrated information and the processes it provides. So the project I'm working on now is Freyr Giga Arctic, which is a battery production plant, which is 125 square meters. It's quite big. It's located in Mo I Rana, which is quite far north in Norway, in a small town. The capex is approximately 17 billion Norwegian kroners, approximately 1.6 billion American dollars. And it's the first large-scale battery production facility using this production technology. So the machines does not exist at the moment. So while we're building, we still develop the machines, which makes the building needing quite a bit of flexibility to fit the machines, which is quite challenging. So here is my VDC framework that I was working on, and I want you to see at the client objective. They want a 50% lower capex per installed gigawatt hour of capacity and 200% higher production per employee. So there's a high degree of automation. There's a lot we have to think about in the design phase. Also, it's about getting first to market. So we need the building ASAP. So the main challenge I want to present today is that we have a worldwide organization. We have the Giga Arctic facility in northern Norway. We have design group in Trondheim, headquarters in Oslo, VDC team in Stavanger, production line equipment manager in Germany, and the technology is from the US. So we have a lot of different cultures, a lot of widespread organization, and also the language barrier. Not everyone is fluent in English. We have to have a possibility to talk to each other using visualization and actually understanding what we mean when we say something. And yeah, there is no possibility for everyone to be co-located at the same time. Also, the technology and workflows in different cultures and companies and countries really is a challenge. People use different software and everything. So that was the main challenge we faced when trying to get people to understand each other and work together. So the solution, first of all, we need a world-class BIM. We need something to visualize what we're talking about, and we need a single source of truth for information, and that also includes production line equipment. We can't look at the building as itself. We also need to see what is the building actually serving, how big are the machines while we're developing the machines. So here we have an example from the BIM with the production line equipment with all utility information and hookups for the MEP engineers, so they know exactly where to have their pipes to connect the electricity and then the correct information at one place. We have digital meeting in Teams, and we had well-structured iSession with a collaborative software that kind of engages stakeholders that everyone can contribute to in meetings. And that is what I'm going to talk a bit more about now. So we did ICE in Miro, which is basically a whiteboard that everyone in the project can access and edit and view. We have the focus for the meeting. What are we going to talk about today? What is the key points? Then we have the desired result. That is something we measure. What did we actually produce in the meeting? That is the whole point of the meeting. That's why we're there. We're going to produce this. We have the participants and the preparation. Who are going to participate in this meeting and what do they need to do? Here we also have the possibility to say, when do you need to be here? If you don't need to be in the whole meeting, You might jump in later or you jump out earlier if need be. We have the agenda with a really tight schedule, and we're sticking to the schedule almost no matter what. The schedule should be completed. And then every point on the agenda points to a frame. In that frame, it's open for discussion. Here we do the preparation in advance of the meeting, and then in the meeting, we talk about what's in that frame, and we make notes on the basis of discussion there. And we can also paste in picture from BIM and stuff like that, and visualizations. And of course, we also have metrics, follow up on the metrics, plus delta, how are we performing in the meetings? That's also key to learning and improving over time. So I'm going to do some basic example of how we discuss and what we discuss. I can't go into detail about the production facility, but we do some basic examples. So the general contractor needed some clarity in how the elevator should be. What do we need? So we're down in the left corner, we have post-its on decisions, need for further actions, and discussion points, just information. So we can clearly see where is the decision made, where do we need to have further action, and what's just for information that everybody should know. And we have a designated person that is responsible for this point. Also, if you look at the small arrow on top of the picture here, you can see that it is a hyperlink to the website, so we can easily go and fetch more information if that should be necessary in the meeting. And the result of the meeting was a lot of green post-it notes. The operational guys were quite clear. No, we do not want aluminum floor. We want stainless steel. We need a handrail, etc., etc. We were able to make 7 decisions in a matter of minutes. If you did that via an email, it would take a lot more time. The next example is this. So here, the same frame, I can go in advance, and here I did that, and saw that the responsible only uploaded this picture. I was like, okay, is that enough to make a decision? Probably not. We might need some more. And therefore, I went into the BIM, got some hyperlinks into the pictures, so we could go directly into the viewpoints we needed to discuss the size of the gates in the middle of the building. In that way, you shorten the time to find the correct viewpoint in BIM. You can do that in advance, which is quite powerful, because it's all about getting the flow in the meeting, shortening the discussion time, and getting everyone on board. It turned out that wasn't enough. We needed a few more pictures, and here we could see that it was the AGV that was the main constraint when designing the width of the gates. And because we had the operational people there, they had a slide pointing out that, oh, we need only 2.7 meters. So collecting all stakeholders have a really good way of shortening decision time, because probably somebody in the project organization have information about this, and you have to figure out who. So the result of this, it's a good, here we have a graph showing the rolling average of how the meeting is performing. It's steadily increasing, so it started quite low because nobody in the organization had done ICE before. And we were struggling with preparation, we were struggling with the desired outcome. And by that we thought, okay, maybe we need to do something. So we set in a 30-minute planning session 3 days in advance with key stakeholders to plan who needs to be here, what do we need to decide to make the project go forward. And to do a cost or time estimate of a poorly prepared ICE compared to a good ICE, I think that is quite interesting to see. So planning in a poorly planned, the ICE facilitator might need an hour to plan, send out agenda, and so forth. Preparation per issue might be 10 minutes. The architect might find the BIM 10 minutes before the meeting or something like that. Total planning, 1.5 hours. Great, short time, saved a lot of money there. Then we have the session execution. 16 persons attending the session, and they all had to be there for the full 2 hours because they didn't know what was going to come up. So that's 32 hours. That's quite a big number compared to the preparation. Work after the meeting, sending out the minutes of meeting, 1 hour, and a total cost or time budget of 34 hours just for this meeting. That's a bit of money. And we do not necessarily know what the outcome of this meeting is. If we didn't prepare, how can you be sure that you're going to meet the desired outcome? I don't know, at least. So for a well-prepared I session, which this were, we had a few more agenda points that I didn't show, but I used 3 hours to plan. That's quite a lot. We had a planning session with 4 people, key stakeholders that knew who needed to be there. That was even 2 more hours. And preparation per issue increased to 1 hour per issue. So that's 3 hours there. And we're already up in 8 hours. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But then again, when we come to session execution, we were 16 persons. And because we had a really good specific agenda, we've gone through what we're going to do in this I session, who needs to be there, when, and how long they need to be there. So when they were done with their part of the I session, they could jump out. Also, we did it faster than expected, so that also decreased the amount spent. So 18.5 hours were used in that meeting. Hours that could be utilized actually producing BIMs and decisions in other stages of the project. Work after the meeting did not increase, so we still have 1 hour. And the total cost or time used in the meeting was 27.5 hours. So that shows how important it is to really plan a good I session. It is an investment, but you definitely have a possibility to get some good outcomes. And you can predict that the outcome would be good because you have thought through every part of the session and you know what you need to decide and who you need to decide. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.